yeah. All right. Whoa. And now it's time for the Late Boomer Show, starring Stephen J. Morris. Yeah. Take two. Hi, this is the Late Boomer Show. Today we're going to talk about movies depicting right wingers. Here's one, the very early one, called Joe. Came out in 1970, written by Norman Wexler, some screenwriter. This was Susan Sarandon's very first movie. And for all you right wingers out there, she gets killed in this movie, so you'll be happy about that. Peter Boyle, the guy who played Frankenstein in the Mel Brooks movie, plays the baddie, plays the construction worker. And Peter Patrick plays a high level businessman, a CEO. He's from the upper middle class. And Joe, Joe, he's a construction worker. Anyway, the the trailer will explain everything. So let's play that, okay? Okay.
Joe is a 1970 crime drama directed by John G. Alvinson and written by Norm Wexler that explores how white American men can spiral into bigotry and conservatism through their unchecked rage. Bill Compton, played by Dennis Patrick, kills his daughter's hippie boyfriend in a fit of rage. He drunkenly confesses to Joe, played by Peter Boyle, who blackmails him into friendship. Gradually, their friendship becomes more genuine, and the two go to a commune to kill some hippies together. The film ends with Compton, blinded by his rage and influenced by Joe's bigotry, killing his own daughter on the commune. You may recognize Boyle from Taxi Driver. Joe has many parallels with Travis Bickle. Both are veterans caught in a changing America, both are openly bigoted, and both are white men. Joe is unique because he openly supports conservative ideology, whereas Travis Bickle remains mostly ignorant to the politics around him. Politically, the film suggests that adopting conservative ideology is a gradual and corrupting process. This process is shown through the friendship between Joe and Compton. Initially, Compton disdains Joe for his hatred of hippies.
You're all going the same goddamn screw America way. Hippies.
Slowly, he begins to tolerate and agree with Joe's opinions on hippies.
What's that word they got? Grooving? Groovy? They're not screwing, they're grooving. Screwing and grooving.
Finally, the two end up smoking weed at an orgy, becoming hippies themselves. Joe remains culturally relevant for its depictions of generational relations and the dangers of American conservatism. I recommend the film to anyone interested in those subjects or anyone who likes movies about weird white dudes.
It's the kids who are screwing us up. Am I right?
Oh, yes, of course.
Fucking A.
Okay. Let's get the movie poster. There it is. Let me let my cat out, okay? Come on, girls. Okay. Back in 1969, there was this movie called Easy Rider. It was a low budget youth movie to attract the counterculture youth. The high school students that were rebelling, the hippies, whatever. Bikers, not in biker gangs, just guys who love Harley Davidsons. We used to like to have cross country, um, cross country rides, sort of like Jack Kerouac and the Beats. Now, what happened in the spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Easy Rider, go to another video now. In the end, both of the motorcycle riders, Peter Fonda and that other guy, got a truck of rednecks came and one took a gun and shot them both. They got shot. A lot of people in the movie theaters and some drivers were applauding when they shot the hippie characters. Well, bikers. I think they were dope dealers selling pot. I don't really recall. So, that was 1969. At that time, a bunch of hard hats, construction workers in New York, decide to attack an anti-war demonstration. They got bats and shovels and started to attack the anti-war march. The headline got international news. So this was the beginning of the hardcore right. The Christian nationalist was in its infancy. White nationalism was in its infancy. All there was, as far as extreme righties, were the Klan and the American Nazi Party. That was it. There was no skinheads back then. So some guy who makes exploitation movies said, "Hey, there's an idea. Let's make a movie about some guys shooting hippies." And thus we get Joe. "Hey Joe, where are you going with that gun in your hand?" They even had a movie soundtrack. I have it somewhere in my collection. So, this was a drive-in movie. And it was a grindhouse. And it was a second-rate movie theaters. They call them B movies. Those were the movies were B movies. They weren't big movies like, I don't know, Dr. Zhivago or something like that. But they were in the walk-in theaters, they called them. And I went to see it. And that was the beginning of my disdain of the American political right. Back then, starting around the 60s, they became gun nuts. The Riflemen Association, they said, "Nobody's going to take my gun." Now the Riflemen Association is getting financed by Putin and Russia. That's where they're getting their money from. Anyway, Joe was one of the first right-wing movies there ever was. I mean, hardcore movie. They say this is a crime movie. It's a political movie. Believe me, it's not a crime movie. It's a crime to call it a crime movie. You should be arrested if you call this a crime movie. This was a political movie, anti-hippie, anti-left. And it's been the same ever since. Here we are, 2025, and this movie could have been made yesterday. So I give this movie a B plus. And if you don't like violence, don't watch it. But that's the whole thing. Later in the 70s, there was these movies about fighting. Um, Charles Bronson used to make these movies about fighting crime. A civilian, and he's beating up the criminals on subways and stuff. Yeah, those got the standing ovations in theaters. And Clint Eastwood, yeah, he made movies like that, and I can't think of the name right now, but he was a detective in a San Francisco. Can't think of the movie now. Ha ha. But yeah, people love those. Dirty Harry. Dirty Harry. People love Dirty Harry. It was damn hippies. There was some damn hippies in those movies. They were, uh, they were like serial killers. No, they sure, the so-called Hollywood left, they sure did damage to the hippie movement. They depicted hippies like a bunch of Charlie Mansons, not love and peace and New Age. No, they were evil. Hippies were evil. A lot of white working class people believed it. And that's it. This was one of the first movies to do that. So, ta-ta, and I'll see you on the rebound. Bye. I said, bye. Disappear.